A couple weeks ago, my friend texted me that he hatched a two-headed turtle, and obviously I had to take them. But before we pick him up, I want to make sure both heads are eating and he's ready to be put into a new environment.
It's been 2 long weeks, and finally he's old enough to be picked up. Or should I say, they're ready to be picked up. Survival rates in two-headed animals are super low, especially the ones in the wild. But I'm going to do whatever it takes to keep these guys happy and alive.
A lot of you asked for an update on the two-headed turtle. It's only been 2 days, but an update's overdue. The first night with him, I kept him in this container, with only about a ½ inch of water. Both could easily lift their heads to grab air. I then offered some food which neither ate, cleaned it up, and went to bed. The next morning, I woke up early to check on them. I found both of them completely unresponsive. I was almost certain they passed, but just to be sure, I did CPR. And after about 2 hours, I finally saw the larger head gasp for air. Shortly after that, the right head also took a breath. Somehow they managed to almost drown in not even a ½ inch of water. The rest of the day, I kept them on damp paper towels, then went to bed. On day 2, I discovered some more challenges. When I went to check up on them, I found them upside down. So not only they can't swim, they also can't flip themselves back over. I'm now breaking down options for a temporary setup until they learn how to coordinate better. All I know is that it won't be easy.
Here's the update on my, well, not so bright two-headed turtle. My vet recommended that I keep the setup the same. Keeping it simple and small will allow them to find their food and also keep them from tipping themselves. I continue to offer food for 3 days straight, and yet they show no interest. I started to get really worried. But on day 4, we finally got some good news. I finally saw the larger head eating. I'm so happy right now, and I told you guys, they're not giving up. And later that night, I've never been so excited to see a healthy poop. I also noticed they are much more coordinated. It's been a while since they last tipped themselves, and they're also walking a lot better. They're still young, and there's definitely going to be a lot of challenges they're going to have to overcome. But honestly, seeing the big head eat gives me a lot of hope. Here's another update on my two-headed turtle. Last video, I showed you guys that the larger head was eating. I started to get worried for the right head. I also noticed that head was a lot more shy. After a couple days of not seeing him eat, this brought up the question, do both heads have to eat? Well, the answer to this is simple. If both throats are connected to the same stomach, then technically no, they don't both have to eat. But one head has to eat enough to support himself and the other guy. If they are not connected, then obviously they both have to eat. I do know they are somehow connected since they share the same. But the better question is, at what point does it connect? But finally, we got some good news. When I offered them lunch the other day, I actually saw the right head eat. I also want to note that it's been 2 weeks since they last flipped themselves. I'm not saying that they're guaranteed to live, but they're not giving up, and every week it's looking better and better. This is update part 4 on the two-headed turtle. The left head's feeding response is amazing. The right head, though, is still super shy. But if you just give him some time, eventually he'll eat. I keep offering a bunch of different types of foods, like pellets, krill, and shrimp, but they only seem to ever want to eat the blackworms and so what I do a couple times a week to try to make up for that is supplement their food with vitamins and calcium. One thing I noticed though is that the left head is still larger than the right. I'm not sure if this is something to worry about. I mean, I asked the vet and even she didn't know, so let me know what you guys think. So obviously I see these turtles every single day, but I just look back at the first videos of this series and I cannot believe how much these guys have actually grown. Another thing I'm super happy about is that it's been nearly a month since they last tipped themselves. I knew that was going to be a problem, so I'm happy they finally figured it out. It's been about a month since I last updated you guys on the two-headed turtle. It's common for two-headed turtles to not even make it out of the shell. And if they do, they normally don't live too long after. It's a miracle these guys even made it this far. This right here is the last footage I have of these guys in my phone. So, I guess that means we gotta take more. They're doing great. They're over 2 months old now, and they actually are putting on some size. Obviously, I see these guys every day, so I didn't even notice how much they were growing till I looked back at the first video of this series. From now on, I promise to keep the updates coming.